Good morning. Welcome back to another episode on child right protection and welfare. On the last episode, I was talking about building resilient community for the safety of children. You can get that from our YouTube page at RebeccaUdom-Udofia. All the social media handles, the links are on our the description part, so you can follow us there to get to learn more on how to protect a child, how to protect children, different direction, different dimension. This is a whole course on its own. So on today's episode, I'll be talking about the role of education in child protection, because education is widely recognized as a fundamental pillar of thriving societies. So it goes, when I say education, it goes beyond academic. It goes beyond the four walls of a school. In fact, education, when it comes to child protection, starts from the family. It starts from home. It starts from you as a parent, as a guardian. The person that child wakes up to see every morning is a person responsible for the first stage of educating that child on how to protect his or herself from being harmed. So that is what education is all about. It's not all about the school that the child goes to. So it serves as a cornerstone in protecting children and nurturing their overall well-being. You educate your child on how they should protect themselves, from harm. I saw this video trending. A lot of people laugh about it, about that the little girl slapping the father. They're using it to create content, but that's a very wrong content to put out there for children to look at, or for even adults to think that is the right thing to do. That video that the father wrongly touched the child on her buttocks. She slapped the man and said, "If you touch my bum again, I'll slap you." She slapped the man. People were laughing. I was looking at the comment section. But some people were talking out of context, and because of lack of knowledge, you do not train your girl child to protect herself like that. If you do that when someone touches you wrongly and disrespectfully or any form of abuse, you stun and you slap the person. If you train your child to do that, you are exposing that child to danger, because the perpetrator is going to retaliate for that action. You will retaliate and it will hurt that child in a way that you will not even imagine. So instead of educating your children to react aggressively with violence, by hitting the abuser, educate them in the proper way. And what are the proper way to educate a child to protect his or herself from being abused? Is number one, teach them wrong touches. What is the right way an adult should touch you, and what is the wrong way an adult shouldn't, and what is the next action you should do. You don't turn and start insulting the person, or you start hitting the person, you start slapping the person. Teach the child, let the child understand that wherever he or she is, there should be a trusted adult. He or she can report you, can report any form of abuse to. Another one is teach the child to vacate that vicinity, to leave that place, to move away from where that particular person that who is trying to abuse him is or her is. That's how you train a child. And also train them to speak up immediately. And you as a parent, or as a guardian, or as a teacher, learn to get information from children playfully. let them learn to trust you, to say things that even if someone threatens them, they will say it without even knowing they've said it. For instance, someone is abusing the child, is telling the child, if you tell your mom, if you tell your dad, if you tell your teacher, I will kill you. You can get that information out of the child. How do you do it? Your child goes out, or you leave your child, you go to work, or wherever you go to, you come back. Try to talk to your children about what happened. For instance, I can give you a tip. Ask your child, what makes you happy today? Playfully, friendly. She won't even know. He or she will not know. What makes you happy today? Who makes you happy today? Who scares you today? Who makes you excited today? Who did something that you did not like today? Who told you? What is that? Did anybody tell you not to tell me anything? Did anybody say they will kill you if you say something? Or you do something? I mean, they say, oh yes. Oh, who is that? Friendly, we don't know. Who did that? Who said that? Why? Before you know, the child will just... And you notice the body language. If there's something that is not normal, you watch the body language. Is he or she afraid to say something? So those are the things. So when I saw that video, I was like, this is very wrong. That child is just about maybe a 4 or 5 year old girl slapping a man that is touching him wrongly. That's very wrong. If that was a rapist, number one, you will hurt her physically, you will hurt her sexually. That's very wrong. A lot of people were laughing about it. So let's correct that. Let's correct that and train our children how to educate our children how to protect themselves. Report these things, talk about these things that are being done to them that are not supposed to be done to them. Okay? So what are the roles of education in child protection? So the multifaceted role of education in child protection goes beyond academic achievement. It is a powerful tool that provides children with the necessary knowledge, skills, and attitude for their lives. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need to be aggressive to your abuser. You don't need to insult the person, because that person who is trying to abuse you mean you all manner of harm that he or she can do to you. Mean that child all manner of harm. A child doesn't have what it takes to defend his or herself from an abuser. The only thing she has is her voice, which is speaking up. And that voice comes through education. It comes through you educating that child how they should be assertive about these things, how they shouldn't joke with it. Okay? So those are the things, the knowledge, the skills, and attitude to their lives. So in terms of child protection, education serves various important purposes. Number one is empowerment through knowledge. That's one thing that education will do to a child, to empower them through knowledge. So education empowers children by giving them a voice. Yeah, children need that. You should give them a voice. A voice. What do I mean by a voice? Not by shouting, not by being aggressive, not by endangering yourself more than it's supposed to be. A voice simply means there is someone that can listen to you. There's an adult that you should entrust that child. You let that child understand that you can talk to this person. Be an adult that a child can talk to when something goes wrong. That is a voice. Being an adult that hear the voice of a child. Don't be an adult that is always shutting his child up. Yeah, when you do that, you take their voices from them. You are not educating that child. Sometimes children say something very important out of the nonsense they say, out of play. That's when you even get to correct some mindset about children. So you listen to a child when the child speaks. So that's when you do that, you give that child a voice. You educate that child. So that's the voice you are giving to that child. So when children are knowledgeable about their rights, bodily autonomy, and the difference between appropriate and inappropriate behaviors, they are better equipped to recognize and report abusive situations. That's one thing that education will do to a child, will do to children. Another thing that education does, another role that education plays in the life of a child safety is awareness for prevention. That's another thing that education will do, to create an awareness, to open them up, to be aware, to prevent an abuse from being done to them. So school programs that incorporate child protection topics can raise awareness among students, teachers, and parents. That is what we do. All of our work, we go to school to speak to children. We encourage the school system to incorporate child protection into their scheme of work, so that children, teachers, and parents can learn. Sometimes in the school settings, the reason why we go to school to seek speaking engagement, because sometimes parents don't actually get to learn this, because some of them just get busy with work and all that, so they don't really get to learn what the children and the teachers are learning under the school system. So that's why what we do is we educate committee members who are the parents of these children. We go to school so that during Parents' Day in school, teachers can pass this information to the parents as well, so that they'll be aware. So you that are running a school system, make sure that your school has a program that encourage child protection topics in your school. Another one is understanding the sign of abuse. Education will train a child to understand the signs of abuse. So the dynamic of power and control, to make them to understand the dynamic of power and control, and to also recognize at-risk situation. Those are the things that education will do. A school that incorporates child protection topics program in their school will put a child up and the teachers up for this. So when you do this, it can significantly reduce the incidence of child abuse. Yes, it will reduce. One thing about evil is that when everybody keeps quiet about evil, it will spread. But if you speak, I speak, the other person speaks, you will notice to die down. For instance, I remember a period that some girls were getting missing because of Yahoo boys. That period was too rampant. I think like 2 years ago or so. It was really very, very serious. But even if it's still happening, if you look at it now, it has died down to some extent. Even if it's still happening, it's not as rampant as it was as at that year. That's one thing about evil. So if everybody is, another thing is that some things will happen to you when you do not have knowledge of what that is, when you do not know the signs. If you train your child about the signs of abuse, when he or she sees it, she doesn't even need to think twice. She will just remove herself from that place, and she will speak up. She doesn't need to guess it. She just knows that this person wants to abuse me. either physically, emotionally, sexually, or otherwise. Or another one is teach your children through love. Yes. In my case, when I was a child, I was made to understand that loving me as a child was like a favor. I didn't see it as my bona fide rights, because those people were not my parents. So everything is just like they are just helping you instead of you to do this, which is not a word you should tell to a child. It is a right of a child to be cared for, to be catered for, and to be loved and protected. But when you are now using it against that child, like I'm even doing you a favor, you are not happy. That is how some children feel under some adults who they live under. But when you teach a child that loving you is your right, providing for you is your right, sending you to a good school is your right, that child taking care of you, your overall well-being is your right. You don't even have to work for it. It's your bona fide right. That child will recognize any adult who is trying to, manipulate it, like, you need to do this before I do that. You need to allow me to touch your body before I do that. You need to, you use child right to do trade by barter. The child will know. He or she will know that this person does not love me. And you know that this thing is even linked to animals. Like, I don't mind use the dogs in our house. They know that you love them. They know. If you come into the house, in fact, if you come into the house, you have foul, or you carry foul oral, the way they will back at you. And if you carry clean oral, they will come to you, especially if you're a loving person. And I try to observe something. Anybody that comes to this house to do something, they don't back. That person seems to always do the right thing. Honestly speaking, we complain less. But anybody that they back as if the person can come today, they will back. The person will come tomorrow, they will back. Till the person leaves, they will back. And they'll be running under the chair to go and hide. We are calling that person to come and fix one or two things, we have complained. Even a dog knows that you love me. And a dog knows that, no, you don't love me, I have to run from you. But what more? That's a dog that is trained to know what love is by the owner. Then that same thing happens to a child. If you train your child to understand that loving him or her is what she deserves, when she steps out and experience something otherwise, she will know. She will know. That's why you have to listen to children. Why is your child shying away from a particular adult? Do not push a child to an adult they don't want to go to. We parents, guardians, even if it's the person that you employ at home, why you keep an adult, when I say employ someone to take care of your children, it should be genuine and to be an adult, someone you pay. Yes, someone you pay. I am very, very against child domestic staff, and again, that thing can disrupt the future of a child. It will distort that child's future. So when I say someone that takes care of the children should be someone that the children will trust, will love to be with in your absence, not another child. Take note. You feel you have money, you go to a less privileged family, you pick up a child to come and live in your house and be doing things that your own children cannot do, things that you will not allow your own children to do. That's child abuse. You are not helping that family, you are not even helping that child. You are not doing anything. You are abusing another person's child. Yes, that's not what I say. Someone that will take care of your children. I mean a trained adult, someone you can pay, someone you can agree with. Agreements, written agreements. Yes, let me also open your eyes for you who is looking up to to go take care of somebody's child, always have a written agreement. That's your backup. So that nobody will swindle you. Yes. So children understand love when you teach them love from the family, when you love them from the family, when you educate them to understand some certain things about themselves, their rights, then their responsibilities as well. Yes, their responsibilities, because there are responsibilities that children should carry out. For instance, are you going to be reading your child's book for them? You won't do that to pass the exam. There are some things children do on their responsibility that they carry out that you need to also train them, so that when they step out and it's out of point, they will speak up. They will speak up. No, this is not for me. This is adult work. So those are the things that education would open the heart and mind of children, then teachers in school, then the parents to understand. Another thing that education does is it creates a safe environment. So when school operated efficiently and responsibly, create a nurturing space for children, they establish an environment where children can engage with their peers, acquire knowledge, and develop under diligent supervision of a responsible adult. That is another thing that education will do for children. Another thing that education will do is early detection. Education often plays a front in noticing signs of abuse or neglect. I talk about the school teacher that noticed that the driver that was coming to pick a child to school, a girl child to school, was always taking this girl to his house to rape her before taking her to school. It was a school teacher that noticed that this girl, something was off, and they found out. That's one thing that education will do, education system. Teachers, school staffs should always look out to not just come and teach children, let them dance A, B, C, D, and they go. That you look out for their safety. You too, the parents. So it was very disappointing to me that even the parents of this girl, because sometimes we get so busy, didn't notice. So the school teacher that knew that something was off about this child. So it was through close interaction with that teacher. That teacher had a close interaction with that child and found out. Even the man threatened the little girl. She opened up somehow. So this allowed them, this close interaction with peers, teachers, will actually to open up things that need to be detected on time. So it allows them to detect changes in behavior. Yes, education allows children, teachers, parents to allow changes in the behavior of the child that is going through abuse, appearance, or academic performance that might indicate underlying issues. So those are the things that education will do. So it can detect early enough. So they say a stitch in time saves 9. If you detect it on time, you can prevent it. So another thing that another role that education plays is support and refer. That's support and referral. Like schools can act as a hubs for support services, including counseling and referrals. So children facing challenges can access help directly or referred to specialized services outside the school. Yeah, those are the things that that school that you are building, that school system you are building. It's not just for you to be collecting school fees. Look into these things. School system should collaborate with specialists in case of anything like that. In case any child will need a special therapy, special service to come out of traumatic experience. Don't just allow a child and be saying that is how that child, that's what the child will be. There's no child that is born a dullard, timid. Something always happens along the line. It could actually be from the family of the child. For instance, a child from a home where there is domestic violence is likely not to behave normal as a child should. He or she might always be timid and fearful, and otherwise. But school can help. How can you help this child? How can you help this family? Sometimes some things happen. I saw a movie, so though it's an American movie, and Assets. They got to a point that the lifestyle, the name of the movie is Assets. The lifestyle of the parents was damaging the girl. They have to come. Child rights protection have to come and take that child. Their lifestyle was damaging that girl. The girl was going nuts. Was going nuts. She was performing some kind of behavior that are not normal, even in the school. So it was the school that called the child rights service. They come and they took the child until the parents sorted themselves. That was when they were able to go back and pick up that child under their care. So school can help children coming from complicated families like that. Another thing is that is very, very crucial and is happening all around us. There's a child staying with someone. There's a child living with someone in another family. And you as a teacher, you see that this is not how a child should appear in school. And most of these schools are government schools. Yes, because most of the schools, children who stay with people and work as domestic staffs or just one way or the other, is a government school. You always see them. There are many there. So you keep quiet and allow that child to come to school like that, and you see the performance of that child. That child just come to school to warm the chair. Something is wrong, and you allow it. But the right thing you should do is to report the situation of that child to the right authority. That's what you should do as a teacher, as a school system. But we live in a world whereby when something does not affect you, you will not want to speak up. Okay, for instance, you that are teaching in that government school, how many of your children are there? You can't send them there now. That's not the school you want to. Those are for the less privileged people and the people that are brought to live with people. Those are the people that are going to that school. Some parents who send their children to that school don't even like it. It's because that they cannot just afford it. And when you look at some children that are coming from their parents, they are different from those that are coming from people that are staying with. Yes, I went to that school. I knew some students who came from their parents. They don't have money. That's why they are in the school. They couldn't afford good private school. But when you see them, you will know that they are loved, despite their living condition and financial situation as at then. They are loved children. I actually have friends like that. So I remember when I walked last, like I have felt so abandoned that I forgot what it means for an adult to carry phone and call you and say, where are you? I forgot that. So I've went alongside with my life to understand that nobody cares, and I've forgotten what it means to be cared for. So rain fell. My colleague said, my mom is calling me. The thing came to me as a shock because my own nobody's going to call me. Where are you? Are you dying? Are you alive? And I used to get home then by 10 p.m. because of Ikorodu road traffic. So when she said my mom is calling because of the rain, that thing touched me. I said, wow, nobody has ever looked out for me like this. I said, I can't believe I'm formed already. That I only care for myself. That's how some children are. That's how some children grow. Nobody cares, so there is already a part of them. Another thing is that it's a mindset too that is directly built into a child, and that is how that child. The only thing that can make me sitting here not to be like that to a child, because I've been healed from whatever the enemy wanted to plant into my life. I've been healed. That's why there's some things that was done to me as a child, I can never do it to another child. When I talk of my own child, this can never happen. So those are the things that happen. So you don't overlook this thing that does not concern you. So I don't need to talk. It's an auntie now. It's an auntie, so the child should die. It's an uncle now, so that child should die. Instead of you to speak up, you're not doing the right thing. You are not doing the right thing. The child grade is not. The child is just coming to school. He or she is not doing well. You are teaching. When the time comes, they will just say, let my people go. They move to the next class, or the child keep failing and withdraw, because then in the government school, if you fail like 3 times in a class, they will pull you out. Like they will disqualify you. That means you're not meant for education. No child was born a dullard, please. Something is wrong. And you are pulling innocent children out of school when they have stayed in one class, they fail, they can't move to the next class. No education for that child. And this is something that should have been prevented if an adult has spoken up. So another thing that education system should do is, another role education plays to implement child protection in education settings. Guys, implementing it, you implement it as a part of your school settings. So for education to effectively play its role in child protection, there are certain strategies and initiatives that can be employed. Number one is there should be a comprehensive. So I have moved from educating your child from home to the school system now. There should be a comprehensive curriculum. That incorporates age-appropriate lessons on personal safety, healthy relationships, and conflict resolution. Another one is, what a school should do is training for education. So you provide regular training sessions, educator that can better prepare to address child protection matters, including prevention and intervention. This is what we do when we go to school. We train teachers and students. Another one is open communication channel. You promote open communication channel among students, teachers, and parents. This can establish trust and facilitate the identified solution to the issues. Children and students, teacher, parents, and open communication to this. Okay. Another one is strict reporting protocols. Schools should have This one is not just school alone. Schools. If all these points are given, also apply to the family, the community. Yes. There should be a strict reporting protocols. So in this state, you establish a clear guidelines for reporting suspected cases of abuse or neglect. When you do this, it will ensure timely interventions. You report, you don't keep quiet about it. I like to use myself because I went through the highest type of abuse of my life. Yes, so I can write a whole book about the abuse I went through as a child. I remember when I was about to write my SSC, then I will have to pick a child from school after I close. So the school I went to offered us free evening lessons for SS3 students. I wasn't able to attend these classes. Did you know the most wicked thing that was done to me was that the person I was helping to care for a child, what I'm not trying to mock her, is that she wasn't actually doing anything. No 9-to-5 job, no business she goes out to. Like, this person has time. So I was like, if this person really cared for me, she would have allowed me, she would have helped me to pick the child. For that, it's just a month or few months of thing, so that I can attend extra lesson to do my classes. But she didn't. So my school principal then is she's a very serious woman. She look into things the way they should be. She had to invite her. She stood her ground that she couldn't help me pick the child. I had to be picking the child. It was my responsibility. And that's why I was missing the lessons. I wasn't attending lessons. And another thing that the school suggested that I do, because I was a good student, my grades were good. So she saw no reason why I shouldn't pass my WAEC. She saw my principal saw something that would obstruct me, that would, kind of not make me to do well. And that lesson helped a lot of students. She was trying to correct some bad record about our school WAEC results, and she brought in that idea. I can't forget that woman. So that thing helped my set that period, that year. So she suggested that, okay, get her a lesson teacher at home. She didn't get me a lesson teacher at home, honestly speaking. So I wrote my WAEC without attending extra school lessons or getting a school teacher at home. I didn't. So those are the things that children go through. Children go through living with people. They go through some. They witness some wickedness because the person that they are under doesn't really care about their future. So those are the things. Another thing is that if this school if I'm sure that this my principal didn't know that she could report something like that, she would have reported that if there's a child here, they will not allow her to attend the necessary class she needs to be able to write exam. She would have reported it, but there wasn't strict reporting protocols. Because we were many in that school. People like, I have a friend of mine, she's married today. I have to tell her, Happiness, run and leave this woman before she will kill you. This woman, her husband travels. When the husband travels, she will pound my friend, black and blue. I have to tell her, how much do you have? I said, my friend, run to Anambra. We even have a mother. She has to run and leave the woman. So we were many in the school that we were going through things like that, living on that people. We were going through different. I went through deprivation, but I didn't go through. There was attempted sexual abuse, and she went through physical, mental, everything. That physical, you could always see bruises on her body from her madam. Very wicked woman. So we were going through different things, different abuse under people that we're living with. So those are the things, and nobody to report this our matter to any protocol, any rightful authority. So another thing that education should do is to collaborate with external agencies. School can collaborate with school protection agencies, NGOs, and other relevant organizations to enhance their child protection measures. So education plays a paramount role in overarching realm of child protection. It's a dynamic tool that not only empowers children but also acts as a deterrent against potential harm. So by intertwining education with proactive child protection strategies, we can pave way for a safer, more nurturing environment for our future generations. So thank you very much, and that is for it today under the role of education and child protection. And thank you very much for always tuning on. Follow me on all my handles to learn more. Click on all those links there: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I am there. You can reach out to us through those channels for partnership, support, collaboration, and all that. So thank you very much. I will see you by next Sunday.